Mighty Morphin Power Rangers go! Hey everybody, you already know we have to talk about Power Rangers once and always. I'm a 90s baby, so I got a lot of things to say. So let's not waste some time, let's get right into it. The movie starts with nostalgia overload. We get Rita Repulsa and her putties fighting the Blue Ranger. Billy calls the other Rangers for backup, and they're all fighting just like they used to back in the 90s. And then Rita goes to kill Billy, and Trini jumps in the way and ends up dying. I didn't really think that the death was taken that seriously. You know, watching the Yellow Ranger die and everyone else kind of just like looking out into the distance, I was like, aren't y'all gonna cry for her? Like, is that it? The scene between Zach and Billy talking about how they're gonna break the news to her daughter was so bad. Like, the acting was horrible. And I get it for the 90s babies who are like, well, that's how Power Rangers were. They were always cheesy. I get it, but there's a difference between cheesy and just horrible acting. Zach definitely did a better job. You know, people don't watch Power Rangers for the acting, but Billy was really... I just feel like there could have been more acting classes on this movie. So yeah, I hated the scene with the whole spilling the news to Trini's daughter. I thought that was so... I thought that scene could have been cut and they could have just had, you know, the time skip forward. So it turns out Zach ends up taking in Min, Trini's daughter. And I was like, that's really interesting. Why Zach? Why not somebody else? And I'm also like, where is Min's father at? That was never touched upon, and I really just wanted to know, like, was he an intergalactic space ranger? Like, who is Min's father? What happened to him? There's a scene where all the Rangers are getting, or most of the Rangers are getting kidnapped, and Snizzard actually turns them into action figures. And I love that they made a reference to the nerds who do collect the action figures. And, you know, you can see all of the different Rangers. Like, you can see the Zeo Rangers. You can see some Ninja Rangers. Well, I don't know if there were Ninja Rangers, but they were all different types of Rangers. Okay, so for all my nerds out there, y'all gotta tell me, the flying car took me all the way out. I was like, why is this car flying? Is that a reference to an earlier episode? Because I've never seen that before. After most of the Rangers are kidnapped, they return to the juice bar to recuperate. And I really love seeing the juice bar again because it's such a nice throwback. There's a moment where Min is just going off on Billy, and Zach is there, and she says something like, well, it's your fault my mom is dead. And she walks off. And I was looking and I was like, Zach, are you not gonna like say something and stop her? Like, Zach just let Min roast Billy like that. And I was like, aren't you her adoptive father? Like, aren't you gonna like talk to her? I loved how they also weren't hiding the fact that Min was gonna become a Yellow Ranger. Like, it was so obvious even in the trailer, and I love that they didn't try to hide that from us or make it seem like it was gonna be a surprise. Like, she starts off the movie fighting, and we know that she's gonna become the Yellow Ranger. There's like, it's even hinted that she even knows that she's going to become a Yellow Ranger. They go back to the base and they have this plan to contact some other Rangers to help them out. And Alpha 9 is there. It was so good to hear that ay 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 again. Ay 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 ay. Oh my gosh, that brought up so many memories. Nerds, OG nerds, I don't remember. So the Pink Ranger, did she marry Tommy's character? The new Pink, the Pink Ranger that was used in this show, did she marry Tommy's character? I don't remember. Let me know in the comments. Because she was talking about a son, JJ. So let me know the whole deal with that. I thought the Red Ranger was just kind of there. Like, you know, I know that he was a big part, but I don't know. I just feel like he didn't get a lot this movie. There was a moment where I was so overwhelmed because the putties are spread out all over the world. And I'm like, how are these 5 Rangers gonna stop all these putties around the world? So they're having this cheesy talk about their plan and what they're gonna do to like save the day. And then I'm like, wait, the putties are like murdering people. They're straight up murdering people. There's a scene where a putty just throws a woman off the cliff. And so I'm like, y'all are standing around having this cheesy talk, but these putties are murdering people. I don't know. Maybe I was the only one disturbed by that, but I just felt like get to it. I love Min. I just feel like she just had some annoying moments, like going to fight people without any type of ranger powers. So she's fighting the putties and she's trying to help people. She's trying to save people. So Min pulls out her mother's power coin and there's a moment where she's like, Saber-tooth tiger, and all they're waiting for her to transform, and they all just start laughing at her, and they proceed to kick her butt. Zack saves Min. They're at the Angel Grove Youth Center, and Zack saves Min by doing his iconic breakdancing fighting technique, and it was cool to see that, but there's this question of like, these guys are older, so like, did they have stunt doubles? Did they actually do the stunts? Or, because I know it's all fake fighting, but it's still like, that's still a lot for like a, going on 50-year-old man. So like, what's really going on? Hey guys, I had to stop recording because there were some noises happening out of my control. And so I stopped recording and we lost the daylight, but that's okay. I don't mind it if you don't mind it. Shall we continue with can we continue with the review? Y'all don't mind? Yeah, that's the thing that came up in the movie for me. Just like, are they real? There's no way that the actors are actually doing their own stunts. And that Power Ranger costume is saving them. Zack is upset. Why did you go off on your own? You're supposed to be with people and you don't go by yourself. And they have this interesting conversation. And Zack is like, I left Congress to protect you. Or I left Congress to raise you. And I was just like, Congress? Zack in Congress? I don't know. And so that really made me think about like, okay, how do Power Rangers function while also raising a family, while also having a job? There's another time where Min runs off again on her own to fight Rita. She wants to kill Snizzard and Minotaur, and Rita's actually there, and they start fighting, and the fight scene was actually intense, y'all. Like, there's a moment where she like hits the floor, and it's on like gravel, and I was looking, and I was like, oh, I know that's stunts, but that looks so real. If there's anything good I can say about this movie, it's definitely that the fight scenes did look realistic. Fast forward a little bit, the Rangers are all back together. They have this plan to destroy Rita's machine, and Rita actually has Billy cornered again, and she's about to kill Billy, and Min jumps in the way and hits Min just like she hit Trini. And in that moment, I actually gasped. Like, I audibly gasped. Because I was like, are they really about to kill the daughter too? Like, I was really on the edge with that scene, y'all. So there's a flash in Min's eye of Trini, aka Thuy Trang, and it actually had me tear up just to see them honor her like that, and just to know that her life was cut so short. That moment, actually, it was a really good way of honoring Thuy Trang. There's a moment where Billy stabs Rita in the heart while she's distracted, and it was actually like kind of like jarring just to see her get stabbed like that. Finally, we get to see the Megazords fighting Snizzard, and it was crazy, y'all. Just like being able to go back to my childhood and remember what a Megazord was and how we were all like hype over every time it would come on screen. So the day is saved again thanks to the Power Rangers. And y'all, I did not like the movie at first. I came in a little disappointed at first, but I ended up loving the movie. I think it honored what we grew up with. I think it did try to make an attempt with, being respectful of all the characters. There weren't a lot of changes that we would be like, wait, what? So I think they did a good job of putting this movie together. I will say it did feel like a wasted opportunity. I really felt like they could have done this 10 years earlier. We could have had all the Power Rangers in there, our OGs in there, and seeing them fight as 50-year-olds was kind of cringy. Even more cringy than a normal, not like cool cringy, like a normal Power Rangers episode, but it was like weird cringy seeing 50-year-olds fight as Power Rangers. I also will say I was really disappointed to not see Amy Jo Johnson come back. I understand that she is doing her own thing. She doesn't want to be connected to the Power Rangers brand like that. Maybe there's speculation that she was asking for money and they didn't give it to her. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I think I'm not on Amy Jo Johnson's side with that one. I get it. Jason David Frank passed away, and that was a heavy blow to all of us. And I would understand if that was her main reason, but it seems like it wasn't her main reason. It seems like it was more of a money issue. And I'm not judging her, right? She can make whatever decision she wants. It just feels like she could have done it, got her check and kept it moving. Because this doesn't seem like it took a lot to make. And that being said, she doesn't owe the fans anything, but I just think that she could have just hopped in for a second, got her check, and promoted her other works too. So that's how I feel about it. And I did love how they honored Twee Trang and Jason David Frank at the end. And it seemed a little rushed together, but I understand what they were trying to do. So I did have a good time, y'all. There were some really cringy moments where I was like, ugh, we could cut this out. And I think they could have done it sooner. But I ended up really liking it. At the end, the whole first half, I'm like, no, absolutely not. Please let me know what your thoughts were. Are you an OG Power Rangers fan? Did you get in later in life? Did you like what they were doing? Did you hate what they were doing? Do you feel like they should have done the movie sooner? Do you think Amy Jo Johnson should have been in? Also, please like and subscribe. I'm new to YouTube, but you know, I like talking to people, so let me know. All right, that's it, y'all. Y'all have an amazing night. Jalen out. Go, go, Power Rangers!